Academy of Art Urban Nights update is next. Coming up, the NCAA makes a historic decision regarding payments to college athletes.
You've been hearing about the wildfire disasters, but are you ready for a big earthquake? We have tips from an expert.
The story of the Bay Area D2 school where there are often more players than fans in the stands.
And a preview about movies about to hit the theater near you. All that and more next on Urban Nights Update.
Hello everybody, thanks for joining us here at Academy of Arts Urban Night Update. Milo Simpson Bent is sitting in with me. I'm Thomas Delgadillo, and here's what's happening. The NCAA has taken a historic step to allowing compensation for college athletes. The NCAA's top decision makers unanimously voted to allow college athletes to profit from their names, image, and likeliness. Originally, California was the first state to pass a law to make this change, but the new policy will now apply to athletes all over the United States. As it stands right now, this would create an unrestricted market that would allow the NCAA's athletes to seek out endorsement deals. However, board members are still trying to determine how to implement this policy in a way that will distinguish it from professional athletes. This new policy could go into effect as early as January 2021. We spoke with Academy of Arts University assistant baseball coach Steph Henderson for his reaction to this unprecedented move.
I was really in support of California making that decision. I think it's great that the whole United States decided to do that. I think any athlete in college that is allowing the school to profit should be able to profit or benefit from the likeness of their name, jersey sales, memorabilia, whatever it is, as they would if they were professional at the next level.
We'll be hearing more from Coach Henderson later during an interview with Justin Summers.
California is going dark. Pacific Gas and Electric has started a third round of power shutoffs this week in Northern California. The shutoffs are a part of a new PG&E precaution taken to stop compromised power lines from being knocked over by high winds and sparking wildfires. Last weekend, nearly 2.7 million people were without power during the second shutoff in the San Francisco Bay Area. The outage extended into far northern California and into the Central Valley. The recent power outages and wildfires raise questions for Californians about the future of public safety and the utilities in safeguarding its role.
As California continues to burn, evacuations continue. With more evacuations ordered earlier this week, the Kincade fire has forced nearly 200,000 people to evacuate, 90% of them coming from Sonoma County. This isn't only the major fire in California. A 4,600-acre fire is burning in Los Angeles. As that fire continues to burn, they too had more evacuations over the weekend. These evacuations included NBA superstar LeBron James. With the fire still a threat, be sure to watch for the evacuations warning and stay safe. Humans aren't the only ones at risk. Animals all across the state can also be in great danger. While most animals typically have an easier time evacuating the fire, the animals that are at high risk are the slower ones and the young. The few animals that thrive during all this chaos are the predators, such as bears and raccoons, as they will prey on other animals fleeing the area.
California released the nation's first earthquake early warning system on the 30-year anniversary of the Loma Prieta earthquake. One way to get alerts is through the new MyShake app, developed by the University of California, Berkeley. The other way is through a wireless emergency alert system sent by the Public Safety. Both alert residents seconds before an earthquake happens, which should give you enough time to find a safe place or drop and cover. If you live in the Bay Area, you will witness an earthquake sooner or later and can only hope it is not a big one. But are you prepared and know what to do if the time comes? If not, Pacabo Reinhold has all the information you need.
The big one is yet to come. That's what scientists say 30 years after the 1989 earthquake, and it's chilling news. Back then, the 6.9 magnitude earthquake caused 63 deaths and led the Bay Bridge and highway collapse. Artist John Maddowes remembers exactly where he was when the tragedy happened.
So I ran down the stairs and stood in this doorway and then realized that this wasn't the thing to do. So I ran into the street here. And when I looked down at Chinatown, I thought that Chinatown was burning, but it was actually dust. And it was as if someone had just shaken off the dust.
Since 1989, the Bay Area city spent more than $80 billion for seismic improvements, and it's safe to say that we are more prepared than 30 years ago. But scientist of the Earthquake Science Center, Justin Rubenstein, points out how important it is to prepare yourself as an individual.
That's going to be, first and foremost, having a earthquake kit. And so that's going to be some water, some food, and some money. Those are the most important things that you need, but it's also good to have things like clothes and things like that.
Besides preparing yourself and your home for an earthquake, you can also download the new MyShake app that alerts you seconds before an earthquake happens, which gives you enough time to find a safe place. However, what do you have to do if an earthquake actually happens?
If you're, say, in class or you're at home, the thing you want to do is drop, cover, so get yourself under a desk, something sturdy, and hold. So you're going to grab on to a leg to make sure, a leg of this table or whatever you're getting under, to make sure that it doesn't move away from you.
After all the changes in the city and the spreading of more awareness, does John Maddowes really feel more prepared than 30 years ago? And did he change anything?
I don't feel any safer, but I don't feel any more at risk either. And I've got sort of the rudiments of what I think I will need. You never know exactly what you're going to need.
The next big earthquake will come, there's no doubt about that. And everybody who lives in the Bay Area will feel the consequences. So please do everything you can to be prepared. Here in San Francisco, Picabo Reinhold for your Urbanites Update.
In order to be prepared, please be sure to have a communication plan with your family and know how you want to reconnect with them after a tragedy. Also, in your emergency kit should be water and food for at least 2 days, a flashlight, batteries, cash, a first aid kit, masks, your own personal medications, a blanket, towels, toiletries, clothes, shoes, a communication kit with papers, pencils and stamps, cooking supplies, and a lighter. You may put any other personal items in there that you think you will need.
The highest dumpster in the world is finally getting its trash taken out. Mount Everest is getting cleaned up. A group of hikers spent 6 weeks going from base camp to base camp trying to remove as much waste as possible. They took 10 tons or over 22,000 pounds of waste off the mountain. The waste is not just being moved from Everest to a landfill, but is actually getting reused and remade into other products. Everest climbers have to pay a $4,000 waste deposit to climb, and it will get refunded if they bring 18 pounds of trash off the mountain, but only about half of them do. 20 million trees and $20 million. That is what YouTuber star Jimmy Mr. Beast Donaldson is trying to do. He has partnered with over 600 YouTube channels, including Ninja and Marshmallow. The plan is to use hashtag #SaveTrees on all their videos and to ask their followers to donate money. Even YouTube is stepping in and announcing they will waive all the transfer fees for any donations. Mr. Beast has also partnered with the Arbor Day Foundation, and they will begin planting the trees in January 2020 and is expected to be completed by December 2022.
Say goodbye to fur items. Over the weekend, Governor Newsom signed a bill to ban the sale and manufacturing of fur products in California. The violation can go up to $1,000. The retail store Macy's has decided to stop selling real fur products by the end of 2020. The prohibition applies to clothing, handbags, footwear, hats, and other accessories. With the holidays arriving, make sure to find another way to stay warm. If you're a skater who lives in San Francisco, I can guess I know where you were this weekend. Popular skateboard brand Supreme kept their promise and had a massive opening to debut its first store in the Bay Area. Many security guards were needed to protect the entrance and the fans eager to purchase the limited edition items. If you haven't yet, go to 1015 Market Street to check it out. Our own Brooklyn Morera covers the story.
As time changed, so do fashion trends. This season, women are now wearing men's blazer for casual day work or events. Brooklyn Morera has the story.
As generations change, so do the gender roles. Nowadays, you see women stunting around in men's blazers. Because Yves Saint Laurent inspired women to wear pantsuits in 1920, that was the breaking point of ending gender roles. Women are now bringing back men's blazers for meetings, casual days, or even fancy events, each interpreted in their own style.
Behind me are women's blazers in the window display at All Saints, so let's get further insight from Irene Green.
I think women wearing men's blazers is a power move. It's about walking with authority. I feel like blazers have always been seen more as menswear. So I think more women wearing blazers, whether it's casually or in the workplace, I think it's definitely important. And I think it's just about times changing, to be honest. All of our blazers are going to be oversized, a little bit more androgynous or masculine looking, but they're still very stylish and can easily be elevated with like accessories. You can dress it up, you can dress it down.
Lots of women are wearing blazers for casual days walking on the streets of San Francisco. Sydney, a Bay Area resident, loves the blazer style.
I wore this blazer today because it's kind of breezy but still warm, and it's not a heavy jacket, so I can just throw it over something real quick and go out and do whatever I need, and it looks nice. I kind of think it's been going on for a little while, but it hasn't really become a big trend. I think we might see it more and more. I just saw this jacket and liked it, and that's why I got it. I didn't really do it for a trend.
As you can see, designers are selling blazers in all different colors, patterns, and styles to attract the women's eyes. In San Francisco, I'm Brooklyn Morera on Urban Nights Update.
Clothing trends change so much, we are going to have to wait and see which new styles will come next.
I felt like I got hit by a truck and punched in the gut. That's what 16-year-old Noor Abu Karam said after being disqualified from her race because of her religious headwear. Noor finished the 5K race in Ohio with her best time yet, but was shocked to see her name absent from the scoreboard. Officials say that they had disqualified her because of her hijab is not part of dress code. But many others believe that this is an act of discrimination. Amid public outcry, the decision was overturned. Catching a home run ball is something every baseball fan dreams of. People bring gloves and even nets to games in preparation for this moment. Unfortunately for one fan, a ball was hit directly at him while he was holding a Bud Light in each hand at the Game 5 series of the World Series. Instead of dropping the beers to catch the baseball, this fan sticks out his chest and knocks the ball down. I guess he was determined to keep his beers and the baseball. The video of him went viral on the internet and got so much exposure that Bud Light got into contact with him and is paying to fly him out to Game 6 of the World Series. Fans are what makes watching sports so much fun. Fans are what creates that exciting energy surrounding games. Speaking of fans, Academy of Art athletics are lacking in the fan department. We go now to our own Galen Manhard with more.
Academy of Art has 14 different athletics teams, but you may not have known that. Today, I'm going to be taking an in-depth look at the fan support surrounding the athletics department here at ArtU. ArtU Soccer has been on a tear recently and are closing in on breaking the wins record they set last year. One thing that has not changed though is the number of fans. Sophomore defender Brittany Flint has her take on fans here at ArtU.
It kind of sucks because having a crowd brings up the energy a lot, so hearing people cheering on, it really pumps us up. And parents come and that's nice and everything, but having your athletes and other classmates there, it really helps bring the energy level up a lot. Well, at soccer games a lot, they have a lot of other people there and they'll like yell at us and make comments at us sometimes just to like kind of throw off our game. So it'd be nice to kind of have it on the other side also, kind of teasing the other team, throwing them off, not in like a mean way, but just a little helpful to us. And it's just a funny thing to laugh at, and it makes everyone less stressed out. It's really hard to get to the games because like we're not a campus kind of school, so you have to pay for like an Uber ride or a bus ride to get there, and it's just really difficult, so people just have a harder time putting in the effort to come out.
Here at RU, even some of our better teams have a hard time generating fans and interest. Now let's head over to Rob Garcia, who's the head of the Sports and Information Department here, for more.
Well, as the only art school in the NCAA, it's definitely a challenge to kind of convince the student body to come out and support an athletic side, since it's a highly artistic student body and these are legitimate student athletes at the collegiate level.
It seems the hardest part for fans is interest and investment. If the teams keep winning though, that should help drive up interest, which will hopefully affect attendance. In San Francisco, Galen Manhard for Urban Knights Update.
RU Athletics seems like they might have a ways to go in terms of increasing those fan numbers, but they look to be right on track. With RU Sports doing so well, we now have our very own Urban Knight, Brooklyn Morera, give us new updates from this past weekend.
Thank you, Milo. This weekend, the Knights were kept busy playing all their tough rivals. With the women's team volleyball coming off a 3-2 win over Concordia, the winning streak continued this past weekend against the Banana Slugs and Fresno Pacific. The Night Watch was on our very own Picabo Reinhold and sophomore Jillian Wheaton, who immensely helped their team win 3-2 against the Slugs and then clean sweep against Fresno Pacific. Keep a lookout on the women's team because they are on a roll. Run far and fast, that's exactly what our cross-country team did this Saturday at the 2019 Pacific West Conference Cross Country Championships. Opening day started at 8 a.m. with the women's 6K, followed by the men's 8K at 9 a.m. Hosanna Karor was the overall Pac West Conference champion and led her team to averaging to second place. On the other hand, the men's team got some tough news. Raba was DQ'd because going a little off course due to being poorly marked. If score counted, the men's team would have finished second, not third, but still very impressive. We are now waiting to hear who advances.
Yeah, the race was physically tough and hard, but as we ran here for the second time, so we know how the race will be. And we ran with the other runners, we ran together. We were pushing each other all the race. We lead all the race, so we know we had we give the pace of the race, so it was nice to lead the race. And I think at the end, when we were doing the last lap, I just said, no, I just have to do it. I just did it, and I think the mindset did the difference today because everybody was really in the good shape, and yeah, that made the difference.
The Battle of the Bridge is right for the RU soccer teams, starting with the women. Coming off a devastating tie against Holy Names, they are ready to go against their rival team, Dominican. From an amazing goal by Anissa Wilson in the 86th minute, giving us the win against them last year, we knew it was going to be a good game. Unfortunately, due to a power outage at Dominican, the men's and women's teams are postponed till Thursday at 10:30 and 1. It's not an ABA anymore, but make sure to go out and support them. Help support our very own Urban Knight, Zach May, as he is battling stage 4 Hodgkin's lymphoma. In his senior year, Zach broke the all-time home run record. Please keep Zach and his family in your prayers. To donate, go to www.ruathletics.com/ZachMay, #ZachStrong. Make sure to stay tuned because the Knights have 3 more weeks until their season is unfortunately over. Keep the lookout for the men's soccer team as they play St. Catherine today and the women's volleyball tomorrow. I'm Brooke Murray. See you at the games.
Thanks, Brooklyn. On the topic of sports, we have our very own Justin Summers interviewing Steph Henderson to hear about his baseball career and how he became an assistant baseball coach for a D2 collegiate art school.
Thanks. I'm here with Academy of Art baseball coach Steph Henderson. Steph, thank you for coming on the show.
Absolutely.
So I know you're a baseball coach here at the Academy now, but I'm going to take it back a little bit because once upon a time you were a player here at the Academy of Art.
I was.
So could you tell me a little bit about just your experience and some things that you went through as a player?
I would consider my experience a unique one. I came here about 10 years ago now, fall of 2009, as a baseball player, student athlete, studied music production, which I think was also the first year that program started up. So it was a fun experience. Learned a lot of things, a lot of valuable experiences that kind of molded me into who I am today.
Okay, you said that your experiences were unique. Unique how? What was so unique about the experience?
It was the first official year that I believe the baseball team competed in the Pac West. So it was a lot of trial and error for things, as well as my school program. It was the first year that they started, so I had maybe 4 kids in my classes. So it was very personal and intimate situations that were valuable, and I don't think an experience like you find that anywhere else.
Right. So I mean, obviously you did have a great time here at the Academy because you were one of the few players to actually get drafted and able to continue playing professional baseball out of the Academy of Art. So I mean, that's really big. That's something that a lot of people aspire to do. So what was your experience like, man?
Yeah, on the field per se, there was a lot of failures. There were a lot of successes. The opportunity came for me to play beyond college. Played a huge role in that was the former coach, Brian Gwynn, who gave me a scholarship to come here and play. And the biggest thing he did for me was allow me opportunity. I played, I believe, every single game from my freshman year to my senior year, barring any injury. I might have missed maybe 5 games in that span, which allowed me to display my tools, which helped me succeed and play beyond college baseball.
Nice. So, I mean, you're a coach now. I mean, what are some of the main differences that you see as from a coach's perspective versus a player's perspective, or is it kind of similar?
There's a drastic difference only because the program's had an opportunity to mature. So there's more structure around it. There's a little more fluid rhythm to how things go. I mean, we still have the same operations in terms of where we practice and where we play, of course. I think that our new head coach, or not new, he's been here for 5 years now, I believe. Dan McDermott has done a great job with continuing to build this program up. And I think where it's going, now that I'm a part of it, of course, is going to continue on that same path.
Nice. Well, thank you for coming on the show with us, Steph. We
Absolutely.
Appreciate you. Back to you.
Could this be the last time we celebrate Halloween on a weekday? A petition organized by the Halloween and Costume Association back in 2018 has been gaining more followers as they tweaked their petition. Originally, the HCA wanted to change Halloween from October 31st to the last Saturday of the month. Now, instead of changing the holiday, they launched a new initiative called National Trick or Treat Day. Like their original petition, the day would be held on the last Saturday of the month. They hope that by moving the holiday festivities to a Saturday, it will make for a more safer and more festive holiday. Trick or treat, the sweet part of Halloween, isn't just for children anymore. This year, the San Francisco Zoo staff gave pumpkins filled with treats to their wild animals. The meerkats had gourds with mealworms, the chimpanzees pumpkin with tamarind pods, and the black bear pumpkins with cranberry juice. You could see more holiday-themed presentations this past weekend during the Boo at the Zoo event. It included a costume parade, live entertainment, hay maze, and the animals devouring their pumpkin treats.
Opt in or opt out. A San Francisco haunted house is changing the way you experience Halloween this year. The San Francisco Mint has put together an Into the Dark tour, a 45-minute haunted maze with horrifying stories and real actors. Upon entering the maze, you will be asked to make a decision to opt in or opt out of the interactivity that enhances the tour's experience. Opting in agrees to a more hands-on participation, with actors allowed to feed you, touch you, and pull you away from the group. While the scary stories are common at a haunted house, the choice of experience often isn't. Admission prices range from $10 to $50. This year, Halloween might be scarier for your wallet than you. Reported by Good Morning America, Halloween-related spending this year is set to reach $8.8 billion in sales, with each shopper spending an average of $86 themselves. About 172 million Americans celebrated this year, with $2.6 billion being spent on candy and $2.7 billion on decorations alone. This might come as a surprise to some of you, as last year's Halloween-related spending broke a total of $9 billion. Need a costume fast? No need to worry. With Halloween right around the corner, Halloween stores are promoting their best costumes for a good price. Justin Summers went to 2 Halloween pop-ups to see what it is like at this time of the month.
With Halloween season officially in full effect, many people here in San Francisco are scrambling to find solid costumes for this year's events. When it comes to finding these last-minute outfits, people turn to pop-up shops like these, stores that are suddenly turned into Halloween outlets. With so many people coming in and out of the store, I wonder whether or not sales go up at a time like this. So I asked around, and here's what one employee had to say.
Well, you're here at SF Party, and we're originally a party store during the year, but during Halloween season, we get a lot of business. Tons of people come in. We have a lot of people in the fitting room. It gets pretty hectic, and we're running around like chickens with our heads cut off. But our sales definitely go up a lot more during Halloween season.
I also spoke with the manager of the store, and although she said that they cannot get into specifics, she said that this is always when they receive the most business throughout the year.
With Halloween season in full effect, there's no doubt that business is going to be booming. But how much money do these stores actually make in such a short amount of time?
Another small pop-up shop, Ray Costumes, is primarily a dance agency and studio, but they also rent and sell costumes on the side. They are currently in the process of discontinuing this part of their business, but I had the chance to sit down with the owner to discuss how they went about renting the costumes and how much money they actually made from doing so.
Yeah, in general, revenue profit from costume rentals is 8 to 10 grand. For us, not being a costume store, just a boutique costume pop-up rental, you're looking at 8 to 12 grand just for opening up for 1 full month. Your inventory is nothing new, so it's a larger collection of like costumes that I've had for close to 12 years. So at the end of the day, it was like an extra bonus kickback.
It doesn't matter whether the costumes are being rented or sold. Regardless, stores can still make a large profit from customers if given the right time and the right season. I'm Justin Summers in San Francisco, and this has been your Urban Nights Update.
Expect to see those Thanksgiving and holiday decorations go up at the party store the minute that Halloween is over.
It is your chance to finally experience Hogwarts live. Harry Potter and the Cursed Child has their first audience this Saturday at the San Francisco Corinne Theater. The tickets are on sale to see the first official opening on December 1st. If you're a Harry Potter fan like me, I can only imagine you will want to meet Harry and Hermione's kids as well. Good news for all you concert lovers. The next week is packed with great concerts here in the Bay Area. Madonna will be performed on 3 dates in the intimate Golden Gate Theater, which makes her fans hope to get an up-close look at her. The concert will be on November 2nd, 4th, and 5th. Other artists are 22 Pilots, who are in the Golden One Center on November 3rd, and Lucinda Williams, who will be in the Fox Theater at November 2nd.
Sticking with entertainment, we now go to Galen Manhard with your entertainment news.
Hi, and welcome to your weekly dose of entertainment news. There are a lot of movies making their way to theaters in the coming weeks and months. From feel-good to action, your Urban Nights Entertainment Update has you covered. While it is spooky season, there is always a time to be a good neighbor. Tom Hanks stars in the life story of the one and only Mr. Fred Rogers. The film, A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, is set to hit theaters on November 22nd.
Hey, I'm looking for Fred Rogers. In here.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? Please won't you be my neighbor? Hello, neighbor.
Sticking with heroes, Harriet is set to be released on November 1st. The movie starring Cynthia Erivo as Harriet Tubman, one of the integral parts of the Underground Railroad during slavery. The film showcases how amazing this woman was and why she deserves to always be known as one of America's greatest heroes.
Rescuing slaves requires skill and careful planning. It requires reading, Harriet. Can you read a sign or a map? Can you read it all?
I put my attention on trying to hear God's voice more clearly.
Do you know what would happen if you got caught? They would torture you until you pointed them right to this office. You got lucky, Harriet. And there's nothing more you can do.
Don't you tell me what I can't do. I made it this far on my own. God was watching, but my feet was my own. Running, bleeding, climbing, nearly drowned, nothing to eat for days and days, man. I made it. So don't you tell me what I can't do.
She's back. Linda as the final Terminator movie that is set to debut on November 1st. The sixth film in the franchise is once again about saving the human race and reuniting old friends.
If travel is searching and home has been found, I'm not stopping.
Who are you?
That's it.
Thanks, Galen. Lots of movies to look forward to.
Well, that wraps up this edition of Urban Nights Updates. For everyone here, thanks for joining us. I'm Thomas Delgadillo.
And I'm Milo Simpson-Bint. See you back next time.